Fifth, a little bit of an upset, a little bit of surprise maybe, goes to Stuart Sutherland. And then look who's not even in the top five, Stanimal. So the placings were kind of all over the place. My prediction was that John Jewett was going to win the show. So I got that right, at least. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Muscle Discord. And we have your 2024 Van Pro Show finals. And John Jewett takes home that first place prize. And I think the check was for $30,000 here in Vancouver for that first place prize. So big payday for John. He punches his ticket to the 2024 Mr. Olympia. And man, he is excited. I know he's must be just jumping for joy to be able to shut it down for, a little bit here. Olympia is actually just around the corner. I think we're like 11 weeks out from the Olympia. So it's actually coming real fast, real quick. And Jump secured that spot. And we're going to see him on the Mr. Olympia. Second place goes to Tim Budesheim. Third goes to Canadian bodybuilder Robin Strand. Fourth goes to Hassan. And then fifth, a little bit of an upset, a little bit of surprise maybe, goes to Stuart Sutherland. And then look who's not even in the top five, Stanimal. So the placings were kind of all over the place. My prediction was that John Jewett was going to win the show. So I got that right, at least. I had Stuart in second in my prediction. I had Robin in third. Stanimal in third. Robin in fourth. And Tim Budesheim in fifth. So it kind of got them mixed up all over the place. But hey, they're all kind of in there. The one that I was not on my radar at all was Hassan. So congratulations to him, fourth place in this lineup. So basically, the way I saw this show is John, in my opinion, pretty much won every pose. I didn't have Tim beating him in any poses. So front double bicep, you can see the thing that holds Tim back is that waistline. It's a little on the thicker side to side. He's got huge arms, big quads, very conditioned, always Mr. Consistent when it comes to peaking for these shows back to back. He looks the same every show. It's just he's dry, he's vascular, he's conditioned. He doesn't look watery, nothing, but he just does not get a shot. Finally gets second, so at least he's improving here. But it could be due to the lineup that he's in that made him have that ability to get a little higher up in the placings here. But he did take out Stuart, who has been beating him in these other shows they've both been in. So that's an improvement as well. He took out Stu. He took out Robin Strand as well. So he made some improvements. Front double bicep goes to John Jewett. Front lat spread I gave to John as well. Just that tight waist going into the hips, and then the quads, the development there, the conditioning is obviously there. Robin has a good front lat spread as well. So does Stu, but Stu just was not on the money. He was off conditioning wise. Side chest. This is a close one, but I still gave it to John because the symmetry portion of the aspect of this pose from top to bottom. Sure, Tim is thicker in the arms and the delts, but down through the quad, the hamstring drop on John is impressive and balances out the symmetry a little bit better. And so I gave that very, very closely. It could go to Tim, but I give it to John Jewett in the side chest. Back double bicep, I give that clearly to John Jewett. The hamstrings, look at the thickness of the hamstrings. They're touching in the middle as opposed to Tim, they're not touching, right? He needs to either develop that a little bit more, or because Tim has huge quads, and it could be the way that Tim is posing. His feet are a little bit further apart. But overall, look at the hamstrings and glutes on John and the back conditioning, and he's got a little bit more flare, as you can see in the lats. I'll zoom in here a little bit. You can see Tim is missing that flare on the sides of his lats, versus John, you can see there's a little bit of a flare out on the lats. Helps with the symmetry. That's another thing Tim is giving up. Just that is not a pose. He's very shoulder and arm dominant in this pose. Rear lat spread. This is I would say this is probably John's best pose. The symmetry in his pose is very good. Let me zoom in a little bit. The lats tie right into his freaking glutes pretty much. It's very thick muscled lower back compared to Tim. You can see here, zoom in a little bit, not so much, right? And you can see Tim's waist is actually wider than John's. So the symmetry aspect, again, hands down, goes to John. Robin Strand looks good here too. He's very shredded in the glutes and hamstrings. He always comes in condition. That is his signature, is conditioning. And that's what gets him into where he is in a lot of these shows higher up, because he brings that conditioning. Side tricep. This is a shot that none of these people on the stage, I think, are hitting properly. I don't know why side tricep is such a hard pose for guys to hit, but it seems to be one. And I gave this one to John as well. Tim's just not really hitting it right. John, I don't like the front leg forward Dorian Yates style pose. I don't like that. I like how the positioning of the feet on Tim is for the side tricep here, but everyone seems to be doing that forward leg Dorian Yates style side tricep. I don't prefer that look. Phil Heath, all of them, they all didn't hit it that way. Ronnie Coleman, they didn't hit it. They hit it like Tim hits it. But Tim needs to pull his shoulder back a bit further, stand upright more, stick the chest out. I could see the flaws he's making there in that pose. But anyways, I give the side tricep to John because overall it looks not bad. A little bit of dissension in the stomach there, but not too bad. Now, this is where I hope, John Jewett, you're listening. Ab and thigh means both arms above your head. It's not oblique and thigh. Now, there's got to be a reason why John is continuously, every time they go for this abs and thigh pose, is doing an oblique and thigh. Leave a comment below. Why do you think John is hitting an oblique in thigh, which isn't what the pose is called? He's hitting an ab, instead of ab and thigh, he's hitting oblique and thigh, not ab and thigh, like Robin Strand is hitting, and like Tim Budesheim is hitting, and like Stuart Sutherland is hitting, and then Hassan is not. He's doing the oblique and thigh pose. So I don't blame the athletes if they're getting away with it and the judges aren't calling them out and say, "Hey, both hands above your head, ab and thigh." Gonna get away with it. Now he's probably doing it because it doesn't look good in that ab and thigh pose. So I'm just a little bit sticky on that one. I would prefer everyone to be judged fairly so the judges can see what everybody looks like in the same pose. I still gave that one to, well, you know what? There's one shot I'm going to give because he's not hitting it properly. Actually, Stuart Sutherland looks pretty good in the ab and thigh as well. I would give that to probably Stu. All right, and then they went, so we just forward through that. And then they went into like, I think they went to top 4 or top 3, yes. So they broke it down, top 3. They did move Tim into the center for a little bit, but then they moved him back. And by that time, I knew that, I knew John had won. I predicted him to win the show, but I knew like it was a solid, clear win for John in this show. But I would have to say John has probably some of the best bicep peaks in bodybuilding right now. You can see Robin Strand has a bicep tear there. Unfortunate. But hey, still got third with the torn bicep. Very clear, glaring weakness. Still got, third place. Robin needs to work on the quad sweep. But great shot for John. Front lat spread. Like I said, I gave that to John. Side chest, close between the two. Back double bicep goes to John. Rear lat, side tricep. Give abs to, at least in this one, I'll give it to Tim. And then the most muscular. Most muscular. If there was one pose that Tim beat John in, is the most muscular. So guys, leave a comment below. Do you agree with these placings? Do you think the judges got it right? What do you think Stuart Sutherland should do? Should he shut it down for the year? And what do you think Stanimal needs to do? Stanimal placed second in the show last year to Hassan Mustafa. So what does Stan need to do? He got, I think, 6th or 7th in the show. So leave a comment below. Do you agree with the placings first? If not, tell me what you think the placing should have been. What should Beef Stew do? Should he do another show or should he shut it down? And what do you think Stanimal should do? People are saying Stan should go back to men's physique. I'm like, nah, he's not going to do. He's too huge for men's physique, okay? Even for classic physique. I think, in my opinion, Stanimal should shut it down for a year or two, pack on much more size to his arms, his back, his quads, hamstrings. Like his whole body needs to just be bigger and come back and kill it. So, all right, guys, I appreciate you watching. Remember to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, share the video. I appreciate you guys. I will catch you on the next one. Peace.